Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to start off a new series of Mars through the houses. So today we'll be talking about Mars in the first house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, just a few quick disclaimers. You first want to understand what sign is Mars positioned in. Is Mars exalted in the sign of Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer, or in its own sign of Scorpio or Aries, or in a sign that it enjoys being in? This is very important to understand. Along with this, you want to see, is Mars conjunct with any planets or receiving aspects from any planets? This will influence the way that Mars plays out within your natal chart. It's also important to understand that Mars will mature at the age of 28. So at this time, Mars will have a significant role in your life. Along with this, Mars will also play a significant role when it returns back to its original location in your chart. The most significant role that Mars will play in your life, however, will be during a Mars Mahadasha. So if you have not seen my video on the Mars Mahadasha Bhuktis, I will leave a link for that above and down below in the description. So what does Mars represent? Mars is known as the Army General in astrology. Mars is all about our strength, our willpower, our energy, our enthusiasm, our drive to move forward in life, our will to take action. It is our ability to defeat enemies. Mars is a planet that is all about action. It acts before thinking. So on the negative side, Mars can be a very impulsive planet. Mars also gives us the courage to take risk, the courage to go up against our obstacles in life. Mars is also ruling over land and property. It is the karaka for real estate. Mars rules over the blood in our body. Mars also signifies anger and frustration. Mars is a very competitive planet. It has to do with any sporting events. It has to do with our relationship with our siblings, specifically with our brothers. Mars is also known as a karaka for mathematics and computer skills as well. On the negative side, Mars can become very aggressive and violent. So what does the first house represent? The first house is the house of self. It is where the soul meets with the physical body, where the ascendant or Lagna is placed in the chart. This horoscope, though, can also be read from your moon sign if you're using the moon as your ascendant as well. The first house represents your brain, your head area. It is your intelligence, your ability to make decisions and to go for what you want in life. The first house is your personality, it is the way that you come across to others. It is who you are, your general nature. The first house is also mapping out your entire life. We can see the foundation of your natal chart based upon where the ascendant is placed in your chart. The first house also represents your health and vitality. It is how healthy your physical body is, what your physical constitution is like. So what happens when Mars enters into the first house? Mars in the first house gives you a ton of energy. With Mars in the first house, you may have been a child who had a lot of energy. There's a lot of restlessness with this position of Mars. This gives you a ton of mental and physical energy and can even give you mental and physical strength as well. Sometimes Mars in the first house is a very athletic position. It is a very active and physical position where you are very much in tune with your physical body. This also can give you a lot of intelligence to act and to make quick decisions. It can make you a risk taker, very courageous and daring. However, if Mars is negatively impacted in the chart, then this can sometimes lead to making impulsive, reckless decisions. So you want to be very careful with this Mars placement about your decisions and your tendency to act before thinking. This can get you into trouble sometimes, especially because Mars is going to aspect onto the eighth house of sudden ups and downs. So you can find yourself in crisis situations, accidents. You can get cuts and injuries with this position. So be very careful with how you are acting out in the world. Mars in the first house definitely makes you someone who is action oriented. You are goal oriented. You want to take action. You want to get things done. You don't like to stay stagnant with this position. You are definitely someone who likes to be in control of whatever you are doing. So you are someone who is engaged with the outside world. This can make you an extrovert with Mars placed in the first. A lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and you can come off as someone who's very impressive to other people. So you can also have a very attractive presence about you that draws others towards you. Mars in the first house definitely makes you someone who is highly competitive. And as Mars aspects onto the seventh house, you can find yourself getting into a lot of conflicts, arguments, disagreements, and this can especially affect your relationship. Mars in the first house creates something that is called a Manglik dosha, which is a dosha that affects relationships. So you can find yourself in a lot of relationship quarrels and conflicts with your spouse. Mars in the first house definitely makes you very passionate about your spouse, about your partner, about relationships. You put a lot of energy and focus into this area. You're a very passionate lover, very sexual, very intense towards your partner. And this is something that tends to be noticed by others. So you have this very strong attraction nature about you. Mars sometimes can also make you a little bit angry or frustrated at times. You can find yourself getting angry by the smallest things in life. So you want to be able to keep this anger under control. When Mars in the first house is controlled, you can achieve a lot of success in life. It's important to be able to channel your energy into something constructive. Sometimes you can also come across as dominating to others. So, once again, you're someone who likes to take charge, who likes to get things done. You exert a lot of energy, you assert yourself a lot in life, and this can sometimes come across as a little too dominating or aggressive to some with this position. And if Mars is negatively placed in the chart, then you can definitely become aggressive or temperamental with Mars in this first house. So you want to be very careful about how you are asserting your energy in the outside world. You're someone who likes to take on challenges and you like to meet obstacles head on. You're very daring, very bold, very courageous. Again, you're all about taking charge and moving forward. Sometimes Mars in the first house can even make you walk in a particular way that shows all of this energy and dynamic courage that is within you. You can walk very quickly. You can have something about you when you are moving that is very strong and impulsive. So others can notice this in the way that you come across in your entire appearance with this position. Mars in the first house can sometimes give health related issues as well because Mars is a very fiery planet that's coming into this first house. So you want to be very careful about your head and brain area and again about any kind of accidents, risky situations. This can lead to all sorts of health related illnesses. Sometimes Mars in the first house can also give you an interest in police and military and law enforcement and being a lawyer, anything where you are fighting for a worthy cause. You want to stand up for what's right. You have very strong values and you are always ready to fight. With this position, though, of course, again, you want to be careful about making brash decisions. You want to make sure that you are understanding, are you fighting for something that is truly worthy or not? This is very important with this position. Mars will also aspect onto the fourth house of your natal chart. So, this can sometimes give you luck in property or real estate matters. You can get wealth from this area. This can also make you really intense and controlling about your home environment. You like your home to be the way that you want it to be, and you like to function in your home the way that you want. You're very independent in your home environment. This can sometimes create conflicts if you are living with other people. And especially this can create conflicts with the mother and the family. So you want to be very careful about this. You can find yourself getting into a lot of family related conflicts, sometimes finding yourself splitting up with family members with this position also. Sometimes Mars can also give you a large home or it can take you into foreign lands as it looks at this fourth house. Mars in the first house also is really good for self employment because with this position, once again, you can find that you're getting into a lot of arguments, disagreements. You tend to be someone who doesn't like to compromise with others. You like to take charge of whatever you are doing. So you're highly independent and courageous, and this is really good for any kind of entrepreneurial route in life. Mars in this first house can definitely mean that you are getting yourself into some difficulties with business partners, with financial issues that are coming up. Anything that is involved with joint finances, you want to be very careful in this area. As Mars looks at the eighth house, you can have some problems in this area. Mars's aspect onto the eighth house also means again that you're going to find yourself in a lot of ups and downs in life. But Mars gives you the strength to overcome those obstacles. So you can find that you come out stronger from a lot of difficulties in life. Another side to this aspect onto the eighth house is that you can be quite sensitive and emotional. And sometimes people are not fully aware of this. This Mars energy, again, can make you come across as someone who's very strong and dominating in the front. But you may be very sensitive and emotional within. This Mars energy tends to have a lot of emotion, passion, and enthusiasm behind it. So you want to be careful about actually putting out too much of this emotional energy. Sometimes this can play into other people's hand as you can have a sensitive or soft side to you. Mars is excellent here in this first house in terms of reaching your goals. Again, this risk taking nature will help you in many situations in life. So, you want to look to where is Mars placed in that first house? What sign is it in? How is it being aspected? This will tell you a lot about the nature of Mars and how you can use this to your advantage to assert yourself and to move forward. This is a very powerful position that again becomes all about directing this into a constructive place. Mars here can make you very focused in your mindset. You can become fixated in where you are putting your energy and focus into, which gives you a lot of potential to achieve success in life. Very independent placement. You want to understand how to work with others as this can increase some of the benefits for you.